Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. Sim, thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video where this man was talking about how it is time for the Emancipation Proclamation to end. And I was like, what does he mean? So he went further to say that a good number of Black people say that they were slaves, right? That there is need to that there is need to involve their emancipation. And I am asking, what are you saying? Because looking at this man, I don't know if people have seen brown egg. His head looks like brown egg. Let me start with that one. And it looks like he is actually scared of the sun because why would he not be? That is a melting point. And then coming back to say that Black people said that they would have invented a lot if not that they brought them here. And he was like, what have they invented so far? And that is where the problem starts because some of them do not know anything. And I keep saying it. Some people need to do research when they do not know anything, right? There is nothing wrong in doing research. But some of them will actually come up here boldly to let people know how smart they are. And this one is also one of them because everything he talks about uses smartness, very intelligent person, right? And so he was like, let's free them so they can go back to where they come from. And I am like, who are you freeing, right? Because what happened to the reparations? Why is it not yet being paid? You know what? Let's get into.
I think since a good bit of Black people feel like they were slaves, right? That we just go ahead and revoke the Emancipation Proclamation and make them slaves. And in that way, they know what it feels like to be a slave. And then we can free them, shortly after and say, there, you see, you're not a slave. You're just another cog in the wheel. I say we try it. Fuck, let's go. Shits and giggles. Trump, come on. Remove the Emancipation Proclamation. Let's get this party started. So yeah, y'all don't understand. What y'all be tripping on is this. See, what happened was we was close to taking over the world before they brought us over here in slavery. And now what is going to happen is we going to take over like we would have taken over because we are so smart and we have so much intelligence that we're going to do to the white people what the white people did to us. And yeah, see, that's what's going to happen, brother. Days, right? That we just go ahead and revoke the Emancipation Proclamation.
Sir, you over here talking about Black folks as if we ain't in the room. You know what your greatest enemy is? You know what your greatest enemy is? Sunlight. Not for fat too. Sir, look at you. Sitting on top of your head is the ghost of hairstyles past. You got more forehead than a motherfucker. You got more forehead than heads of lettuce in a supermarket. All this. You over here pulling at it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. The hair clump for men can't replace that shit. Fuck, I look like listening to somebody whose greatest enemy is going outside without SPF 1 million. Look at you, sir. Look at you. Your entire forehead looks like a sheet. Got parchment from here down. It look like they made your goddamn face out of the remnants of the fucking U.S. Constitution. The fuck are you talking about?
I think we should repeal the Emancipation Proclamation.
You gonna have your ass outside in that heat? Are you? Cause see, this is melanin. It gathers heat. It gathers light from the sun. It makes me look good. If I even say sun lamp in front of you, you gonna run.
Keep the sunlight away from me.
Oh, Castlevania ass, skin ass motherfucker. Look at you! Would you fucking look at you? Sir, pick a color. See, I have a gray beard. Your shit don't know what it want to be. How in the fuck do you have Lee Marvin's hair and Carrot Top's hair fighting it out on your chin? Out here picking the strands of what's left on your shit. With them aviator sunglasses. Because of course you do. Of course you're wearing them. I bet you have Dickie Doo too.
My stomach's got longer than my Dickie Doo.
Repealing the Emancipation Proclamation still isn't going to get you a woman. Sorry. Just because we're going to be in the fields doesn't mean the women that you would want won't want us. Ooh. Oh my God, is that the villain? Oh. Ooh. He's so strong and beautiful in them tattoos. Ugh, get away from me. Did you bring your Morlock ass out here to make this goddamn video? I see you sitting in your car. You know Melanoma has your name, email address, and telephone number, right? Don't be surprised if Melanoma doesn't call you and go, "Excuse me, sir, I would like to talk to you about later skin cancers that we have scheduled for your ass." Motherfucker, you will be out there with us because you are not white. We don't know what you are. You look like burnt sage. The balls on some of you motherfuckers. The fucking nuts on some of you people.
We ought to repeal the Emancipation Proclamation.
Sure thing, victim of Edward Scissorhands. Sir. Why does your head look like brown eggs with hair on them? You look like an exposed kiwi. All of this here look like a turkey sandwich with no mayo, dry wheat bread on the hood of an 88 Delta 88 that's been sitting in the goddamn junkyard for over 20 years. Your shit is raw. You look like your entire face looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene's chicken or turkey for Thanksgiving. Man, if you don't shut your stupid ass up. Oh my God. Sir, with that many deficiencies, come on now. You a flag on the play. You are a flag on the motherfucking play. Illegal use of parchment for your face. Illegal use of a hairline that is gone. It's just, why are you even trying? Like, your shit is gone. I have my shit. I've had a receding hairline. You look like your shit started receding at 5. Illegal use of that skin color. God damn. Man. I bet you somebody just even told somebody you are my son. Like, your ass will be gone. Fucking overcooked moon cricket. Shut up. Oh, and one more thing. If my black ass has to go out in them fields, I'm going to chain your ass right next to me. While my melanin is popping, your skin going to be molten. Be able to peel your skin off. You'll hear it crackling in the wind. Pringles potato chip skin face ass motherfucker.
This is a question for all black people. Do you ever get tired of fucking bitching about every other race but your own?
So Kamala Harris told me that anybody can be black like her, and I just ate some of them collard greens. I put a little lemon and garlic on them, kind of like spinach. Y'all, that was so good. Now I'm black.
Life's not fair. I'm not doing well. My son's still living in the basement. I can't seem to get a job. I don't like the status quo. I'm voting for something else, and you
I love you to life.
I love you,
but I do not believe that.
A man is under arrest this morning accused of shooting at a Democratic Party campaign office in Tempe, Arizona. That's just outside of Phoenix. According to police, it's a 60-year-old Jeffrey Michael Kelly who had a huge arsenal of guns. Really big stockpile, ammunition too, inside of his home. They say he may have been planning what the authorities call a mass casualty event.
On Tuesday afternoon, police surrounded Jeffrey Michael Kelly's car during a traffic stop before hauling him away in handcuffs. He was arrested on terrorism charges in connection with a string of shootings at a Democratic Party campaign office. Officials say the 3 shootings started back in September and all happened around midnight. During one incident, Kelly allegedly fired BB pellets and then gunshots at the glass front door and a window. At a news conference, police said that after 5 weeks of investigation, it was tips by people in Kelly's neighborhood that led police to him. During his first court appearance Wednesday morning, prosecutors told the court that back in July, Kelly did a Google search for the DNC office's address, and officials said that during a search at his home, they found more than 120 guns, over 250,000 rounds of ammunition, and 22 caliber casings in his trash can.
To vote for Kamala Harris or Putin? Who do you choose?
Putin.
Really? Why?
Absolutely.
You guys, I'm done. I am done. How in the Zeus's butthole has this country gotten so damn corrupt? So damn corrupt and so insanely tyrannical that we literally do not care about the devastation that's been going on the East Coast. North Carolina, devastated. Florida, devastated. Tennessee, Georgia, devastated. Our forefathers would be rolling in their fucking grave right now. What is the internet doing to raise awareness about this? Oh, I don't know. Maybe this? Trying to literally cancel one of TikTok's greatest treasures? You know, a wonderful woman by the name of Mama Tot.
Who's your daddy? Trump's my daddy. Who's your daddy?
Well, hello. I know how this looks, but I would like to say that I'm feeling a little bit like Justin Trudeau at the moment, and I think it's very important to point out that cleansing your facial impurities is the right thing to do. And remember, black face masks matter.
You have my name because I told you it.
No, Joseph. We've never spoken, but I'll show you where I got it from.
Much of right-wing politics is just finding more inventive ways to say slurs. More specifically, the N-word. And I think this is perfectly encapsulated in these aviation disasters that we saw. And I mean, this even goes back to like Lee Atwater in the 1980s saying that you can't say the N-word anymore. You have to say forced busing. You have to say raising taxes. And all of it's just a euphemism to advance an agenda of racial antagonism.
It goes back to what Charlie Kirk said last year on his podcast called Thought Crime, which this was a thought crime, when he said...
No, I mean, like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
If that doesn't give the game away, I don't know what does. Whenever conservatives like Charlie Kirk, people who follow this line of thinking, see a black person, a Latino person, an Asian person, a woman in a professional career, they immediately assume that they are unqualified. There is never the idea that this person can have done the job. The first thought in their mind is they got here because of DEI.
Xavier is dead. Killed by the woke-blind virus.
I look around the world today, I don't see a lot of thriving black countries. I don't see a lot of metropolises that are just doing so fantastic.
This is a completely disingenuous, unrealistic, ridiculous idea for the reasons you all said, that only 25% of the budget can really be cut. And even that, you rattled off a lot of programs that most Americans would say like are really important to them. I can do a little bit of math. You're trying to cut $2 trillion, but you've only got $1.5 trillion of stuff that you can cut, and that would be cutting all of it. Now, I would say Trump has intimated about cutting some money from Medicaid. We're going to talk right over here about veterans, where there's some stuff on the chopping block. But what Musk and Ramaswamy have done as a first approximation is they've identified about $500 billion of spending that through a complicated legislative quirk, which I'm not going to get into, they think they can actually cut without Congress. But let's just give it as an example of the things they would like to cut.
But yet you want to criticize the white man or the Asian man or whoever.
You know, there's a video that I never get tired of showing people like you. while you're talking about bitching about the white man and the Asian man and black people, pull up your pants and find your fathers and give me out music. There are 2 videos I never get tired of showing. Never. Never. Because it puts to rest everything that's coming out of your mouth right now. And now I'm going to show you.
Almost 12 minutes of footage, much of it never seen before, showing not just the shocking violence of the crowd, but also the timing of the day's events. The goal, remind Americans of how atrocious that day was. Can't show you all of it, but here's just some of what was shared.
Yeah, it's true. There's probably about 300 Proud Boys.
A sad day for our country.
Back the fuck up! Who you were with, you're all freaking fake news. You're all pieces of shit. You're traitors to America. Alright, behind your son, you coward! Show us your face! Scaling the scaffolding, climbing onto the steps of the United States Capitol.
So do us a favor. Until you clean up your own house, don't you ever talk about us again. Don't. White folks ain't perfect. In fact, there are other white people who'll tell you white people ain't perfect. So why don't you take your big snoring head ass to sleep? Okay? Oh, in case anybody wants to know who this motherfucker is, hold on. I got you, fam. Make sure y'all stop on by and say hi. He's as racist as a motherfucker, but Jesus is Lord of Lords, and he supports the Autism Society of America? That's funny, so do I. I think I'll send them some of your videos and see whether or not they still want your support. Okay? Get the fuck out of here.
So when it comes to racism, the reason why white people always feel like, oh my God, you guys make everything about race, you guys make everything about race, and reason why black people in this country always feel like they're being gaslit by white people or anyone that says it's not about race is because how do you teach when you're teaching your children or you're passing down things, right? You're not going to necessarily pass down the fucked up shit that you did, right? People who have been wronged or have been oppressed or have been victims, what do? You prepare your children for the trauma and the hurt and all the things that you have gone through and you have witnessed. And when you are the person who has perpetuated the harm and all those traumatic events, you're not, and as you see the world changing around you, right? You now recognize, or let me say, the white people have recognized their grandpappies, hell, even their mamas and their daddies have recognized my children aren't going to be raised in the world that I was. And I don't think I'm not going to teach my kids that we were the one throwing things at a child that was trying to go to school. We're not going to tell them that we harass, bullied, beat up, burn crosses on people's lawns just because they looked a different color. We're not going to tell them that we threw bleach in a pool that black children were sitting in. We're not going to tell them that we used to grape little black girls and little black boys and beat up black elders and do horrible things to their men. We're not going to tell our children that we did those things to them. But guess what? The people that those things happen to, they are telling their children. But guess what? They might not tell their children exactly what they did, but they are still teaching them the behaviors. They're still teaching them the attitudes and the way in which a lot of them respond or react to stuff. So rather than saying like me and my generation, and I was also a part of the fucked up things that happened to a lot of the black people and the people of color in this country, I'm just going to say, well, it's because they're lazy. Because if you just look at the type of work that black people and people of color have done in this country till now, how could you consider those people lazy? How could you consider the people that raised your children lazy? And then also, when you think about it, right, they considered black people animals, but wanted black women to literally feed your children from their bosoms. I would never give my child to an animal to care for, to feed, to nurture, to teach. But that's what was happening. Do you see the disconnect that has to happen when you are racist? Because people will say that back then black people were all these horrible things, but have us taking care of the most what's the word I'm looking for? Crucial or sensitive areas of their life. So now we were taught about the horrors, and they were taught that bad things happened, but they weren't that bad, and it was so long ago. But they are not telling their kids that they were a part of it. So now their kids, and I you know what? I was thinking about this the other day, not even just the other day. So I was talking to someone at work, and there's somebody from Middle America, and we were talking about, you know, how certain things stem from, you know, racism, like a lot of the stuff, the terms and just things we use, and like where the words came from or the terms or whatever. And this young lady was just like shocked. Like, she's like, why don't they teach these things in school? And like in unison, we were like, racism. Because rather than teach history as it is, the focus is white discomfort. Like, I was even having this conversation the other day on Facebook when the whole DEI thing first started. And this black guy was talking about, well, you know, they were having training at work or whatever, and basically like his white girlfriend was uncomfortable. And I'm like, the training is important. I think that's why everyone is, not everyone, but the right is using DEI basically as the N-word. It's their way of now saying the N-word, because they don't even understand the purpose of DEI. They don't even know what DEI means. And that's why the fact that the term diversity, equity, and inclusion to them sounds like you're taking something from them. They literally think when you say DEI, it means just grab a random black person off the street and go make them a brain surgeon. They seriously believe that is the level of unqualifiedness when they see a black person. Because the minute they see a black person, oh, you know, because of DEI, and people in the Navy even say, like, you know, oh, well, oh, you know, I won't get selected for this because I'm a straight white male. And when you look at the rank structure and the people that hold a certain level of position, and you're like, you think that you're not going to get picked because what? But anyway, I feel like I was rambling for a little bit, but I feel like y'all got what I was trying to say? Did y'all get what I was trying to say? It's late. It's late. And sometimes when I'm getting ready for bed, I be having these thoughts and I'm like, let me just get it out. But yeah. They were taught that racism was, it happened, but it wasn't that bad. And then we were taught the facts. Like.
So this is all I got from this video. And that man, you know, I saw that video and I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? So I decided, I clicked, right, from Mr. Thomas's video straight up, and I saw the man, and I did what the sister could, you know, and I left him. You know, some people are just not wise, especially coming from older people. I mean, when you see older people that are not smart, it's irritating because you expected them to like be very smart at their age and all that, but it's kind of like, you know, really crazy. But it is what it is. We already know what they know how to do best. It's just like rich farming and looking for someone to give them attention and the rest of it. But one thing I told him is that I know you are very, very scared of the sun. And he was like, oh, are you hiding from the truth? I said, what truth are you talking about? I mean, you mean your lips are looking for spoon? Because like, you know, you already know what that means. Now I am going to set the record straight. At least I can go under the sun and nothing happens to me. I am not melting, but he cannot. Because all they do is wake up every day and look for someone to provoke. Man, that man is old to be doing something like that. And I do not know the reason why. But something is that sometimes I sit down and I am like, what would these people do without black people? Because it looks like everything they do, like, you know, their life evolves around black people and they cannot do anything. without black. You can imagine me waking up every day. Like, you know, when I wake up, first thing I do is like my family and all that, and I am all happy and the rest. Like, I don't wake up thinking of these people, except probably when I need to get all my contacts in time, and you probably log in and you are seeing their mess and the rest of it, you know. So they are the least that I wake up to think of. But these people wake up every day with you in mind. But man, that is their business. But all I can say is that anybody that think that they can gaslight black people over racism, it looks like he is still learning. He doesn't know anything about history, because he was like, what have you people been able to invent? I mean, there is need to teach him, but then, you know, people like them will never pick a book, right? Because they will tell you that slavery was beneficial to slaves, because that was what they told them. They did not read anything that got to do with slave, or know what happened to the slave and how the slave got there and all that. And number one is that these people actually knew that they are like the system that has been set up for them, not for people that look like me. And all the time, all we do is look for a way to climb, you know, on that system that they made. And with everything going on, he is not even looking better like you know, than me or you. Why? Because I feel like he is daft. Like, you know, people like this really need to sit down and think about their history, because if they do not know their history and they did not learn that in school, how is that my problem? Now the school so far has been banning history books, CRT, banning everything, blah. Why? Because it's in kind of violence. You know, why is it violent? The same thing you say is violent, because you do not want your people, you do not want them, right, to know what they did to my people. Is that why it is violent, right? So I think you all better start teaching the real history, because some of them are really uneducated or did not know anything about history, or they are just looking for a way to gaslight themselves, not people that look like me. Because yeah, we are beyond that gaslighting. You are gaslighting yourself, because it's also showing that you are not intelligent, you know. But yeah, but for an old person to come out to do something like this is very distasteful. It's not cool at all. It's not demure. You all know that. But yeah, Mr. Thomas knows how to do it, and he does it amazingly well. Shout out to him. And let me tell you something, for those that are preserving their race and all that, you guys will keep preserving till there is nothing to preserve. You all already know the deal, that there is no hope anymore. And they are looking for every way they can, like anywhere at all, to make sure that they hold that power to themselves. Like I've been saying this, in few years to come, trust me, there won't be anything like, yeah, because man, they know already. That's why they keep saying we have to preserve our race. We have to preserve it. What are you preserving? Are you spies, or are you a stock cube? Because all those ones are spices. So what are you preserving? I never knew they could preserve human beings, you know, just to preserve the race. You all keep preserving though, but the truth is already, you guys will know. And for the ones saying that anyone that is trying to save the country does not violate law, you already know that you are violating the law, and you are looking for a way to hold your heart, because you don't want to feel guilt of what you are doing. The reality is that these people create problem to solve the problem. Like, who does that? Who does that? You created a problem and also, like, you know, they create problem, run away and pretend like they didn't do it, and then come back to look for a way to give you, to tell you how to solve that problem. That really shows how these people can never stop. But man, I am just going to leave it at this, bro. I am going to tell this man that he is not cool at all, and that he should continue gaslighting himself, not people that look like me, because you all continue to lie to yourselves and never teach your children the real history, so they will know, at least know what your ancestors did, not what my ancestors, because it was your ancestors. Tell them what you all did, so everybody will know, instead of hiding under the umbrella that you all are the most amazing person, like, you know, because that is how it is. Trying to gaslight black people, telling them that you all have everything in the platter of gum. If it is that easy, go back to tell them where they are from, because you all are hiding. Tell them the exact places you all pick them from. So we'll start from there and pay them their reparations, because you all are still moving and working around because of the things they built for you. They built all that. You also have to pay them their reparations. And moreover, they are not going anywhere because they are also indigent. So what are you saying? So if you want them to leave, you pay them their reparations and tell them where they're coming from. Everybody wants to be crazy, right? Well, die now, man. You all should leave me alone. Bye for now.